Welcome back. I'm Tedward, and today, thanks to Boston Motorsports in Brighton, Massachusetts, we're driving a 2015 Mercedes-Benz E63 AMG Wagon. This is the S variant. It has a 5.5-liter bi-turbo V8. This is before the 4-liter became ubiquitous in Mercedes land, and it produces 577 horsepower, 590 foot-pounds of torque, and it is probably designed specifically to save a marriage. Because if your spouse was sick of you coming home with sports cars that you can't fit any luggage or kids in, this was the loophole that allowed you to drive like a maniac on the highway and say, but honey, it does all the things you asked our car to do. Because it'll do 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, but you can put kids in the back, you can put the dogs in the back, and it is just a savage vehicle. This is a particularly clean example with about 18,500 miles on it. It's cardinal red. We've got a Designo leather interior and a lot of options. This is, I think, a one-owner car too, so it's in beautiful shape. And man, this is a Tedward car. If I made just a little more money, this would be my daily driver. But maintenance is not going to be zero, because even though it has low miles, you've got to make sure that you're able to maintain things like the air suspension and all of the other bits. Now, to put all this power down on this 4,700-pound vehicle, we've got 255s up front, 285s in the rear, and of course, gorgeous red 6-pot calipers to bring it to a stop. This thing really is a pretty hardcore performer, and with all of the luxuries of a family sedan and wagon, you can do anything in it. You can go to the racetrack, you can go to the drag strip, you can beat literally Vipers light to light, and you can fold down the seats and go to Home Depot. Like, I can't think of a cooler vehicle, if I'm honest. I've always wanted an E63 wagon, and the interior is just stunningly gorgeous. I really like this. This is a good spec. I've seen some ugly ones, and this is not one of them. But my God, look at this. Loads of room, and this is a really comfortable seat, I gotta say. It's got heated seats back here as well, which is engaged on the button here. We've got our little peasant blockers, but not really, that's more just a sunshade. And then we've got this great panoramic sunroof, and around it is all this nice Alcantara headliner. Yeah, this is a well-appointed vehicle. Even got some nice storage here. Ooh, funky cup holder design. See, I'm not a Mercedes guy, so sometimes when I see stuff from other car design language, I get really excited. Let's take a look under the hood. To open that, we come down here, we've got our big red lever. Opens this right up. And here we have a bit of a dinosaur. We don't see these anymore. Everything is the 4-liter bi-turbo. This was the 5.5-liter bi-turbo, and I really like the character of this engine. It's pretty stunning. But enough chit-chat. You don't buy this car just to stare at it. You buy it to do things and go to Home Depot. So let's get in and go for a drive. I've got the key fob in my pocket, which means we can start it. And as customary with V8 AMGs, you've got to start it with the door open just so you can hear it. Oh man, I love the way this thing jumps to life. Down here, before we get to these controls, our seat controls are wild. I love this little display down here. And we have dynamic side bolsters, which is exactly what it sounds like. When you take a corner, the side bolsters will move to support your body. Oh, that sounds very good. Then down here, we've got our shifter. You can pop it into reverse. That knock was my phone. Don't worry, the car is intact. And then we've got suspension control, traction control, our AMG button, which puts it into probably an individual mode, but it went to Sport Plus. And yeah, we've got a 7-speed automatic with paddles and all of the things. So let's go take it for a ride, see how she operates. Slightly old on the rear view camera, but we do have a top-down view, which for 2015, pretty impressive stuff. Good work, Mercedes. All right, we're in all of our Sport Plus modes. Let's just mat it and see what happens. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is fast. This is like honest fast. the character of this 5.5 liter, quite a bit different than the 4 liter. The way this pulls to redline is so insane. So competent. I mean, it's 4,700 pounds. It's a station wagon. You could chuck this thing around like crazy. We're on all-season tires right now. I think I like the character of this 5.5 liter over the 4 liter. It doesn't have as like that quite instantaneous throttle response that the newer engine does because of the hot V, but the way this pulls to redline makes me more encouraged to wind it out. Let's take it down my favorite bumpy road. We're gonna put this into comfort mode on the suspension, sport mode on everything else. Nice snappy shifts. The steering too is really good. It's a perfect balance between tactility and comfort. I don't have to put much energy into this steering wheel. It's really well weighted. Holy cow. This is a problem because I want this car. Most of the time, I mean, I drive so many cars. You guys watch the channel, you know what I'm driving. Most of the time I don't walk away thinking like I need to go write a check, but this car is a little different because this is like what I want. Total Autobahn cruiser. This thing could do some serious damage on an unrestricted road. It's got a 200 mile an hour speedometer, and from what I've experienced so far, I don't think that's optimistic. I'm pretty sure she'll get there, or at least close enough for that to be a valid scale. All right, I'm gonna get off here. Some of those downshifts. This is a brute, man. This is incredible. Corner so flat. I mean, I'm in full stiff mode and it's not brutal. It's not beating me up. This is still really nice to drive, and I kind of forgot that. So we'll put it in comfort mode. We're on the highway doing like normal people things. We'll put it in comfort mode, gas saver mode, 70 miles an hour, 1800 RPM. This thing's just ready to go. Oh man, now I gotta buy a friggin' wagon. I mean, I don't say this lightly. This is really, really competent. I can't believe what this car is capable of. I love the floating dials on the speedometer as well. I think that's really fun. It wants me to replace the key battery. Thank you for the information. Let's get a little taste of these brakes. 3, 2, 1. Oh, very smooth. And we're not going to come to a complete stop because what I don't want to do is just stop on hot rotors. so sorted from a dig too. This 4MATIC all-wheel drive system just puts the power down effortlessly. You know, you're always thinking about big burnouts and hoonigan stuff with an AMG, but you can get away with it all in this car because it's putting it down to all four wheels really nicely, and it sorts it out just fine. And then go to comfort mode, see how she is around town. You know, you're gonna go pick your kids up, you're gonna use this car regularly. And even though it does have an incredible exhaust note, if you're not pushing it, it's very docile and quiet. It's just so, oh man. Wolf in sheep's clothing has never befit a vehicle more than this. Dirty dog. The shape of the steering wheel is great too. We've got the flat bottom wheel. We've got actually a flat top, really. Alcantara, where your hands are located on that 9 and 3 or 10 and 2. Low end torque just wafting you along. You know what's nice too is this chassis just feels so rigid and solid. When you get into the older cars, you know, like my E39, for example, there's still a bit of disconnect from the driver and the road because, you know, it's just an old chassis. This does not have that. This feels rock solid. I feel everything in the seat of my pants. I'm never wondering where the car's gonna go. You can place it perfectly on the road. Oh man, this is good stuff. See how these paddles work. I mean, it does a pretty good job with the tuning when you're in the higher modes with the transmission. There's really not much reason to play with the paddles that much unless you're just trying to hold the gear. Holding out for the faster one, if you want that 4-liter with more power, I'm gonna tell you, this doesn't feel anemic at all. This is a lot. This is a juicy car. This is incredible. I'm gonna just keep it in Sport Plus because you know what? I'm not driving this for that long. It's gonna be up on P-Car Market for auction, but that's only if I don't scoop it up first. This is, oh no. I hate it when I want to buy a car. Such a quiet cabin too. Just want to drive 8 million miles in this thing. This and a manual Murcielago, that's my dream garage. Just totally blown away by the power. This handles mid-corner bumps better than some Porsches, like modern Porsches I've driven. This is the most insane thing. I don't really understand how this car exists. I want one, straight up, like genuinely want this car. This is great. Ooh. Oh man, I really like this. This feels like more capable than my M3. This is bananas. I don't understand. Well, all right, that's enough of that. The Cliff Notes, it's good, it's fast, it's stable, it handles incredibly well. Not a clue about reliability. You can tell me about the 5.5 liter bi-turbo in the comments. I know it's on air suspension. That's always a risky Mercedes move, but you know, That's for, sorry, I just bumped myself in the head. That's for someone else to decide, or maybe me to put like 10,000 miles on it and then sell it before I get scared. Who knows? Either way, thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Even when people decide to just like put on the brakes in the middle of the highway, doesn't matter. We can get out of the way in our monster torque machine. Thanks to Boston Motorsports for the opportunity to drive a real gem, the ultimate dad mobile or mom mobile. I don't want to be sexist, but this is like, you know, dad vibes written all over it. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one. Now I'm just going to put on my massage chair and enjoy my comfort mode drive back to the dealer. Oh my God, this is one of the best massage chairs I've ever sat in. This is no joke. It's going all the way up my, oh, that's good.